Starting now. Hi, I'm Beth Clementi Peevler with Texas Secede League. This is Butters. And our Women Crush Wednesday of this week is Autumn McArthur.
Hey.
So Autumn, who have you played for?
I have played for the Houston Cosmos in the USQ season. I was on the League City Legends this summer, but I practiced with them last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I played one season of intramural Quidditch at Boston University.
Okay. So that's how you got into Quidditch?
Yeah, because they used to shove it in your face on the tour when you went to campus. Their big thing was like, oh, this is our one green space on campus and the Quidditch team practices here. So my little nerdy self was like, I'm going to find that when I come back here.
I mean, that's good. That's good recruiting on their part.
Yeah.
So it got you into it.
It did.
But then didn't quite go. Tell me the story. I mean, I already know the story, but go ahead and tell it.
Okay, so, being that it snows 6 months of the year.
Oh, cute. Butters, if you're going to be a distraction. Just kidding, you're going to stay here.
So they only play in the fall because you just don't know if it's going to have snow on the ground in the spring. So they only have fall intramurals. And they kind of use it as a recruiting tactic for their club team, which obviously you're going to teach people how to play and then tell them to try out after they already know what to do,
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of be physically active. So I just joined the team, intramural. And it was very, very casual. I don't think we had a single practice. It was kind of just show up on Saturday and play 2 games with people who barely know what they're doing.
So how quick is the turnaround? If you're only playing the fall, you have an intramural league where you're trying to get people to play, and then you also have a USQ team. It doesn't seem like there's enough time to do all that.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do both. They were making the people on the club team run the intramural team.
Right. That makes sense.
Just to boost the organization or morale or whatever. But I don't really know. That means, so the people who, I don't want to say it's in a negative way, but it's just a fact of what happened. The people who were on the club team didn't really put as much time into the intramural side of things, so it kind of fell a little flat to me. It was just kind of lackluster because no one was kind of telling anybody how to improve or anything. So it was kind of just a lot of beginners pickup games in the intramural league. So it was kind of a taste of Quidditch, but I wouldn't say that it's anywhere near the level of anything I'm doing now.
Were people open to it? Cause
people were into it, and I would say it was more. It wasn't necessarily about the athleticism aspect. There were a lot of people there that really just liked Harry Potter. I was kind of there originally because I like Harry Potter, but then it evolved into me as an athlete wanting to try something different. Because I really liked how physical it was, because I'd never played a sport that was super encouraging of that, I guess.
Of being physical?
Yeah, because I played lacrosse in high school, but you're not really supposed to roughhouse with people, even though it happens.
I'm gonna sidebar from you real quick. I taught Quidditch 101 to somebody that only played lacrosse, and she immediately went out and tried to start hitting people with brooms. Just full out taking it between her legs and just beating people to stick, because apparently that's what you do in lacrosse. Is
yeah, to a
point, not a
though.
Thing. Anyways, continue your story.
Yeah, because if you don't know, women's and men's lacrosse are very different. The men wear pads and helmets, so if they hit each other with their sticks, it's not a big deal. But women, you don't have any pads. You only have a face guard on, so if you hit someone, you're gonna break their arm or something, or give them a concussion.
Okay, so not as much.
You can only you can body check people to a point, but you're probably gonna get carded if you shove someone too hard. And if you swipe your stick at their head too close, you're gonna get carded. So there's an element of physicality, and it's kind of similar to women's soccer. How
okay,
physical. Roughhousing happens, but it's not necessarily encouraged.
Okay. So Quidditch is a step up from that.
Yeah, Quidditch is you make contact with people. The intramural league was not full contact, but you were allowed to wrap people and do the basketball guarding kind of thing. So there was still a little bit of roughhousing. And I actually tried seeking right away.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because I watched someone do it, and I was like, I want to do that. That is what I want to do. The second I saw the game, that's what I wanted to do. So, yeah.
Braver than me. We had a hard time with that at Texas State because we had the house teams as well. And it's definitely a different different sections of the org that want to play intercollegiate versus house teams, and you can't go to house games and just like start hitting the shit out of people because it turns them off. So
yeah, that makes sense.
We really struggled to find an adaptation of the rules where like we're still being physical, it's still true to the sport, but we don't have like Tim Wynn just lighting up 90-pound girls because he's so much bigger than them and that's how he's used to playing. So I think that's probably something that most programs struggle with if they do have those house programs. But it's good that they had that. How big was your program at Boston?
I think there were like 4 teams. There may have been more, but like all in all, it was probably like 4 teams that consistently showed up every weekend. And there were like, I'd say around 10 people on each team. So that's still like a good amount of people coming out for an organization that was not affiliated with its school at all. Like the school cut ties with the club team like the year before I went to school there.
What is that?
I'm not totally sure on the facts, but I think it had something to do with the school claiming that the sport was like too unsafe and they didn't want to like have the insurance or something, which is bullshit because there's like a rugby team and like a water polo team and like there's like a lot of other club sports that it's just like you just didn't want to give them field space. Yeah, and like it sucked that they still kept using the fact that they had a Quidditch team as like an advertising move on the school tours like years after they had cut ties. And like, you're not even funding this sport and you are using this to get people to come here and pay you like $50,000. Sketchy.
I understand why they did it though.
Yeah, I mean like all in all, I truly believe.
You can kick her off, by the way.
No, she's cute.
Okay.
I truly believe that the reason they decided to cut ties with the sport was because they didn't have enough green space to allow everybody to like practice at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Because there was only one field on the entire campus, and there's 16,000 undergraduates at this college that are sharing one field for all actual like NCAA or whatever teams, Division I teams, and club sports.
Probably not to that extent where you just have one field, but I think every college program probably feels that where like the traditional sports are going to get the attention.
Yeah, and like if you have Division I teams, there's like, I totally get why the school is going to put more time and effort into that. It's because that is raking in money for the school. Like it's part of their business structure. There's nothing wrong with that. It just sucks that they're kind of discouraging students from like joining organizations if they're not going to fund it. Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate. I worked in sports clubs for a couple of years at Texas State, so I kind of saw the behind the scenes of it, and you could see like when they were scheduling fields or when they were allocating money, stuff like that. I think we were pretty fortunate that our board was really savvy and like they argued so hard for why we needed money and why we were representing the school well. And I think we just got fortunate with the amount of funding in the field space that we got, especially hosting bigger tournaments that brought other teams in. And we especially brought out-of-state teams, but I think we were probably the
the exception,
the outlier, the exception. But I think I've talked to other other leaders in different schools, and I think they all had similar experiences to yours where you get trouble with being recognized. One is a serious sport.
Right.
Two is needing funding and needing field space, because it is a specific thing that you need for Quidditch. You need new equipment that you can't just go buy. You have to build it
or order it from someone who can build it.
Yeah, you can't have half of a pitch if you want to go practice or host anything for practice. I guess so, but it's a tough thing that people have to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, there was space like right across the river that we would just walk to. It was probably like half a mile from campus. So it was kind of like, it wasn't super far away. It wasn't any further than you would have been walking to like go to the other fields that were on campus. So they found space. It just wasn't like school sanctioned or whatever. But
how short's your season up there? Like October it starts snowing?
I don't know. Regionals are in like November, but by that point it's already like really cold outside. I grew up in Texas, so that was a big shock to me. I was like, I have to buy like leggings and like underlayers and stuff. Like that was never a thing, you know. It's always just like tank tops and the shorter shorts you can find. So
I think we are really spoiled in Texas. Like, we can play year round. I think the most uncomfortable you get is like, oh, it's 50 degrees out. Like a bludger hurts.
I mean, there's snow on the ground at regionals, so.
No, there's no way. There's not a chance
there was.
I would play. No, I believe you.
Yeah.
There's not a chance I would be playing in snow. I'd be like, no.
No, I'm talking about in last USQ season in Texas. Where did they send us? Wichita Falls or whatever.
Did you go to that?
There was snow on the ground.
Was it like dipping?
It was like a little bit, but it was like freezing the morning before. Then it started raining. It was like that, where it was like 35 and raining, which is my least favorite weather ever, by the way. If it's just like not cold enough to be snowing, but it's like wet and you're fucking freezing, and I hate it.
That's the North's competitive advantage on us. We can't play
Yeah.
in the snow, but they can't play in the 100-degree weather. So
yeah, I take 100 degrees over snowing, and people can call me crazy for that, but I've experienced both, and that's why I moved back. You know.
Or if you can't feel your fingers, it's not a super fun sport to play.
When it like really really hurts when you get hit because your bones are like freezing. Yeah.
no, it's not for me. I'd much rather like we played summer together, and like you pretty much were sweating by the time you got out of your car and walked to the pitch. Like, it's gross.
That's how you know you're alive, is when you're sweating from every pore of your body, Beth.
New information to me, apparently. So college Quidditch, and then you took a break, right, from college to when you're playing now?
Yeah, because I was just really, really busy my senior year. I graduated in 3 years. So I was like trying to cram a lot of stuff into that last year, and sports just fell off the radar.
How was it breaking into the Quidditch community in Texas? Because that would be something new for you.
I think if I had moved somewhere like Austin right off the bat, it would have been a lot harder. Because I mean, like, the truth of the matter is, the Cosmos is like a lower tier team, you know, like there's no like Division 1 and 2 or whatever, but it definitely would be in like a Division 2 like bracket or whatever. And I think that honestly helped me get more into it because I wasn't like super intimidated by anybody.
That's a good point. If you're trying to just start Quidditch in Austin as a community player.
Yeah, like if I had tried that, if I had shown up to like a Lone Star or like a cavalry practice, I would have been like, yo, I can't do this, like I'm out, you know? I think that really would have turned me off of the sport.
That's,
you know, and I don't know, like, I really think that most of the people that I've met in the sport are really great, so maybe the personalities of the people on those teams would have like brought me in more, but
I guess I technically went to a few cavalry practices, but I would say, like, I would hope that if lower level players are showing up to those practices, even though those two teams are the best in the country and they're very elite, I would hope that they would be welcoming to new players and like kind of growing the sport versus, what are you saying?
You have 15 minutes, just in case you're trying to keep...
We're at 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, I would hope that.
Trying to be a good cameraman over here. Jesus.
I'm not good at reading lips. Yeah, I would hope that they would be like welcoming to those players.
Yeah, but as it was, you know, the Houston Cosmos was like just getting started when I moved down here. Because Kevin Raber was like, I don't know if the team had existed before, like in an unofficial sense. Like I don't know if they were doing stuff like kind of how Victoria Spartans started as like an unofficial team, and they were just kind of doing it.
I think that's pretty much the case.
But the first year that I joined was the year that they became USQ official, so it kind of felt like special being part of something that was like new, you know.
I hear you.
So that newness of it was nice. I'm looking forward to this season because every summer I get better by playing with different people than I normally do during the season.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I go back to my team, I'm like excited to show them things that I learned, or, you know, to be more confident in my ball handling or whatever it is. So
that's good. It's when the first MLQ started, that was the first time I'd played with new people over the summer, and you learn new drills, you learn new playing styles, you learn new personalities, which can be challenging. But I think summer Quidditch in itself is an important part of growing, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do TSL, just to make it available to people that didn't make an MLQ roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but your sister's freaking out over there. Okay. What time is it, Laura?
17:30.
Nope.
Oh.
What time is it actually?
Military
8:45?
time. 8, yeah.
Alright, we are going...
Autumn, what are you doing after this?
Yeah, what are you doing, Autumn?
What do you mean, like right now, immediately?
Yeah.
In 15 minutes.
I'm gonna go get swifty with my friends at 80s
She's
night.
gonna have a fun time with her friends.
What
That's
are
what
your
I
feelings
tried.
about hashtag the move?
It's creeping into my psyche a little bit. Not gonna lie,
That's how we
because
do.
you say it every time you see me, so it's like Fatale.
Branding.
So
Pin to the
experiment.
balloons.
I know, right?
Propaganda.
Lauren, pin to the balloons.
Hashtag the move.
Y'all's videos are coming out a week after each other, so that's... We're building up with Lauren, and then we're reinforcing it with
Oh
Autumn.
my god.
Alright, so we'll get this on track and then end. Femme Fatale Fantasy is a all-female / non-male Quidditch tournament. Registration is $10. It's going to be in Cedar Park, Texas. Damn it, I did the opposite of how I usually do. Anyways, I'm going to post a link to the registration below, and send me money. Good night. Bye.
Bye.